What's up, peeps? It's time for another episode of Chibi No Podcast. You got me, David the Smash fan. Mr.
Okay, well, fuck you.
Boricua Senpai.
And Sharky.
And Shark King with the broken shock mount. You can lift it up, right? Can't you still lift it up? Very flaccid.
Use the cup. Have it propped up on the cup. If it's yeah. I have so many solutions for so many problems.
There you go.
I guess that kind of works.
Kind of.
Anyway, so we're back. We're Japoryong lists, which I don't.
Very, very heartbroken about.
I don't feel bad about. He can miss this. He's going to Hawaii. I thought, and do you know why he's going? Well, okay, I don't know. I don't think this is the official reason, but you know what he said? Like I said, what's the reason you're going to Hawaii for? He said he's going for the Pokemon tournament.
No, he's not.
No,
that's what he told me.
That happens to be.
I know it happens to be
bullshit.
Yeah. I know
he says that, but he doesn't have fucking tickets to go to. He's
like, we're just gonna walk around. Like,
let's see if luck is on my side. Like, you fucking cheap bitch.
Yeah, see, because if he was going for that, you would imagine he would have tickets for it. But
yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah, he's not like, oh, I'm going there because of this. It happens to be there. I'll try to check.
But see, that's what I said. Why are you going to Hawaii? He's like, well, because of Pokemon lies.
Yeah.
And I thought he was going without his son to make the stars line again, but that's not the case. He's bringing his son.
I'm tired of all these lies.
I mean, he can still make another child.
No, but he can't be. He's gonna have to be slightly louder and silent. I don't think he wants to do that. And he's gonna take care of his kid.
Just give his son some NyQuil. He'll be fine.
We don't endorse.
I do not endorse the
drugging
of my nephew.
Yeah.
Why you gotta be like that?
My favorite nephew.
Yeah. Anyway, if this is your first time listening to Chibi No Podcast or watching it, how dare you? First of all, you should be listening from the beginning. We're just a bunch of friends talking about anime, TV, whatever, video games. It's just all good. Oh, now I remember what I wanted to talk about.
Nice. Look, I used my powers. I touched his Wolverine bucket, and he was probably scared, and his powers got judged.
Well, I wanted to. I don't think you're finished.
You prop it with that.
I don't think you're finished with it yet. But you can open up the head.
Well, I just want to hold it.
Okay. Well, open up the head and put it in there. Okay. People said that was weird. So
my shirt.
Sure, yeah, it does.
True.
You wore that last time too, didn't you?
No, you wore it when we were watching a Full Metal.
Oh, Full Metal.
Yeah.
That's what we had to keep watching that. No, so Boricua Senpai, he texted me. This is why I got him 2-3 days ago. I think it was 2 days ago, where he finally got past at least the first issue of The Last Ronin.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So, Mr. He already got spoiled.
Okay.
Because he didn't read it. He just like, oh, I know who it is.
Did you go looking for it, or
No,
did
I
you
didn't get looking for it.
Okay, but you stumbled.
You know who it is.
Himself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dang it.
Okay.
You already read it.
I read it.
Because you're the best. You're not like my brother.
I
didn't
actually
go looking
read
for it.
books.
I told you to go read it forever. You're like,
understood that
okay, I
reference.
will. And he never did.
Okay.
Okay, so are you done with just the first issue or the first part?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's I'm done with the first part. I mean, I guess I can say it's not a spoiler other than for him because you've read it all the way, right?
Okay, so to kind of paint a picture, if you've never read The Last Ronin, this is it's like I can't remember how many years in the future it is from like quote unquote current present
Well, they're
day.
no longer teenagers.
Oh yeah, duh.
Well, one of them is no longer a teenager. The rest are forever.
But
teenagers.
basically, what happens? They're in this apocalyptic type of reign of the Foot Clan, and there's only one remaining Ninja Turtle.
Spoilers in 5, 4, 3, 2. Well, I do that just in case.
Yeah, you're
somebody
fine. You're
needs to
fine.
pause, But yeah.
Okay, so before we reveal it, I wanted to ask Boricua Senpai your thoughts. I think you already knew who was going to be in the beginning.
Yeah, well, not initially. I actually
Okay.
bounced around because I toyed with the idea of, okay, why could it be any of the turtles? You could argue it could be Leo because it makes sense because then he would live with the guilt that he failed his brothers, his team.
He was the
'cause he's
leader, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Then you could think Donnie because he was so absorbed into things that weren't human and materialistic because he's like a brainiac guy that he also could be like, oh, I wish I could have delved more into having like a better relationship maybe with my brothers in that regard. Then you think Raph because Raph is obviously the most prone for anger, so it would just send him on a blind feral rage, so he would just couldn't live with himself in that way. And then after thinking, I was like, Mikey makes the most sense because he's the most like knucklehead, like carefree guy. So it would emotionally hurt him the most because reality was never like his thing, if that made sense. Like he was always detached
He
from
always
reality.
seemed like the younger brother.
Yeah,
the youngest brother.
Yeah, he was detached from reality in that sense. Like he had that invincibility mindset, and that's so. But I thought, I'm like, I'm going to favor Mikey probably 70%, but the other 30, I'm like, I'll probably put my chips on Raph for 30% of it because of the whole rage thing.
Right. Okay.
And it ended up being Mikey.
Because I remember he texted me. He's like, "Holy crap!" It's like Mikey's the last run. I'm like, oh, he must have really liked that first issue because
It was really, really nice.
So because I can't remember. I think it's in the first issue. Yeah, because you do see a part where he lays down all of his brother's weapons, and I remember reading that. Watching, I was like, oh, freak! I said that. I don't know why, but that got me emotional. Like that would be sucking.
It
You
did
have
for
your
me
brothers
too,
and you
yeah.
just see them there, like,
And then he puts their headbands on there too.
yeah,
You see the broken katana, you see the bow staff, you see a sai, and then the nunchuck, obviously. But I'm like, oh, that's rough, huh? Yeah. And then he has the memories of like his dad and talking about how he just wanted his dad to be proud of him. So it's pretty crazy.
yeah. So you're just done with the first issue, right? Because that's the ending is basically them revealing that it's Mikey.
And I'm in second issue to the point where we already said spoilers, so it showed the daughter of Urokusaki being Shredder fighting Raph, because you know how Raph goes on a blind
So this show. Okay, so you see how
he dies.
Raph dies. Okay,
and then he stabs her in the back, and then she's in some sort of cryostasis that the grandson of Shredder is looking to get revenge.
What's his name? Kurai, right?
Kurai,
Yeah, Kurai.
It's Karai.
Kurai.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so
Kurai Uroko.
Yeah.
Uroko is the last name.
so you haven't gone to the other brothers and how they ultimately end or
No,
meet their
Kurai's the
fate.
mom.
Isn't it Kurai?
It's Hiroto or something like that.
I thought it was
Hiroto's
Kurai.
the grandson. Kurai's the mom. Yeah.
Kurai's the
Okay,
My
yeah,
bad.
yeah, okay.
I got you. Okay,
That was my
we're
misunderstanding.
good.
But
I will say real quick, I had almost the same thought process as you when I got it.
yeah.
I knew it was Mikey. For a second, I thought it was going to be Leo, but I would never expected Raph to. I'm like, he's prone to anger. He's probably the first one to die.
Yeah, I mean, because of being a hothead, but it
Yeah.
could have been one of those things where he does his own thing, and then they get ambushed, and he wasn't there to help them.
I hadn't thought about that, but
Yeah. So, but I mean, it could have been any one of them, and it's cool, like, to think of the possibilities of it. But Mikey made arguably the most sense.
And I think that's one of the reasons why I like. He's my favorite Ninja Turtle.
Mine is Leo, but I base it off of the color and the weapon, like 2 swords and blue. I'm in.
Mine's Donnie. Mine's always been Donnie.
I like them all. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't hate
right,
them, but I favor Leo just because of 2 fucking swords and the color blue for his bandana. Fucking hard.
So you just got to. How did you feel about his death?
It makes sense.
He loved it.
It makes sense for.
I mean,
it hurt to read, to be honest. Even though I know that he was dead, it sucked to see that
Seeing how that
flashback.
goes, yeah.
And it's like, I mean, I guess he died in the way he saw fit.
Yeah.
And he died thinking he did what he needed to. Almost like, I always bring up Naruto, and I'm like the Naruto fucking dick rider here, but it's like a Jiraiya moment where I'm going to do this by myself.
I didn't need to hear that.
I'm not going to get any help. I'm just going to go do what I need to. He does an immaculate job at murking a ton of Foot Clan soldiers and the head honcho at that point, too. It felt almost rushed, but I guess maybe the more I read, because that's where I stopped, was after that. So the more I read, I don't know if that pacing is on purpose with these issues, but I felt it could have been a bit more fleshed out, but I'm assuming more flashbacks I get as...
You'll get more flashbacks. I think it's only 5 issues. I believe, if I remember correctly, there's 5 issues, and so it's not very long. Like, if you're expecting like a manga type of explanation, like, you're not going to get it because you're not going to get tons of like, you have to. They had to put first Raph's, and I think the third and the fourth you get Leo's and Donnie's.
Gotcha.
I think the conclusion at the end of the 5th one. So it doesn't. Yeah.
Play out differently.
Yeah, they're very
different. And I think part of it is I hadn't read comics in a while. The last thing I read was Infinite Crisis, which if you guys want to borrow, I have the full collection for DC.
Okay.
Great story, but that's been years, and I forget that the pacing is just like
it's super fast. Like I reread Avengers versus X-Men again. And like, holy crap, this went super fast because you see like
Which one?
the one with the Phoenix Force.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Nice.
I was like, which one? I don't remember the other one that happened. But then that one, like, there's a lot of issues, but like it's super fast. Like I remember like them fighting out about the Phoenix Force coming in, and then they're like automatically like the Avengers like, oh, we'll take care of it, and then freaking Cyber like, no, it's a mutant issue. It's our people. We'll take care of it. Like, and it's like, oh, this is super fast. What the heck's going on?
Yeah.
Let's fight.
So I actually ended up buying the TMNT Power Rangers comic series. It's 5 issues. I have yet to read it because that's the artist I told you guys that when I met at Comic-Con in San Diego last year. He signed them all for me at just for the price of one.
Oh, that's tight.
So I haven't cracked them open, but I'll have to crack them open and read them.
You have to let me know about that one because I want to
let you guys
read that
borrow
one.
and read it. But I want to obviously read it first. And I told both of you guys this, that especially when we were building teams for Pokemon, I'm like, oh, I forgot how much I love comics. So, and because I'm such a hater of the constant nerd fandom or whatever we have going on now. Well, not the people. I'm upset at the studios and things. Yeah.
I'm sorry, my bad. Man.
But comics always seem to be, I think, in a good spot. I mean, there might be arcs that people hate, but it's always a good medium that doesn't seem to be corrupted creatively.
And it's one of those mediums that it's not like we talk a lot about like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but it's one of those things where like, okay, even if they write something terribly, they're like, all right, this isn't being well received. It's like, well, whatever, they can cut it off and it's like, we'll move on from that.
And that's fine, but they actually take risks on storylines.
Yeah,
so.
and because they can afford to
And they have different people writing for. It's interesting if you read comics. First of all, if you do superhero comics, because they also release comics within different universes.
Yeah.
So you get different, which works. But then sometimes, like if a main storyline comic doesn't work, they're like, okay, this writer's gone. We'll go for another one. They'll probably like reference the previous one, but they're the ones writing a new arc.
Yeah.
Like there's big issues with what was it called? One More Day with Spider-Man.
Okay.
That was like the biggest controversial thing.
How dare you?
The fact that Peter Parker's sperm was killing Mary Jane.
Yeah.
That's the stupidest storyline ever. It was the dumbest thing.
Because it's radioactive sperm.
Yeah, because it's radioactive.
Exactly. Gave her ovarian cancer.
Yeah, basically, that was the
I
stupidest
get it.
thing. I was like, are you serious?
Yeah.
A controversial one, which I think you should read, is when Doc Ock basically trades his brain, or not his brain, but his brain with Peter Parker, his mind.
Okay.
That's very interesting.
That's really cool.
I like that one.
It is a great, but there's a lot of people that don't like it.
Yeah.
It's a very either you really like it or you really hate it.
Yeah. Well, I want to get into that because that'll. Sorry, you haven't even spoken.
No, there's a new one that's out now. I think they're like 3 issues in, where it's a delayed timeline where Peter is like a middle-aged, like 30-year-old man, and then a Tony Stark variant comes out and tells him like, "Hey, you were supposed to be bigger than who you are. So if you want to take the mantle here, take this." And it's like a vial, and there's a spider, and then here's the Spider-Man suit.
Got it.
And then he becomes Spider-Man as an adult instead of being a kid, and it's been well received.
Yeah,
Like, people
it's
are
a
loving
universe where like Tony Stark knows what the universe is like, quote unquote, supposed to look like, but a lot of people haven't gotten their superpowers. So he actually goes, he's like, yeah, dude, you're supposed to be
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
And like he's already married to Mary Jane. They have 2 kids.
He has a good normal life, and
Okay.
it's just like it's a very different take.
And he's like, you can take this mantle if you want to, but this is who you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And then you see him just kind of look at it, and he gets bit, and then he puts on the suit, and you're like, oh,
that was in the first. Yeah, I remember reading that. That was
really
pretty
cool.
interesting.
Nice. Yeah. I just want to get into that because I think it'll be a good way for me to actually have something to talk about that isn't.
I think after we do that, I want to have like, because I know you haven't read manga, and I'm not having you read a new one, but like, or maybe I read a new one that's maybe quote unquote short to kind of compare the writing styles. Because again, you've seen it. I don't think you ever read it. I want kind of you to compare.
I've seen what they look like, but I've never like actually even read a single page.
I want to see to compare like pacing, to compare dialogue, to compare like all this other stuff. And you too, Shark King, to see like how it's written very different. Because when I went to comics, I was like,
it's a change.
stuff's no. I mean, the first thing is like stuff's happening. That's the first thing I was like.
If they get to the point much.
They get to the point, but again, they have to, right? They don't have this. I say luxury, but they don't have the time to like expand on this.
With the publishers. It's just a different culture. Like culturally in the U.S., it's like, no, we got to get this going.
Yeah, because like you had like quote unquote, you had like Stanley, you had someone who creates a character.
Yeah.
Maybe had some, and then someone else be like, okay, I want you to write the story.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll approve on it. And then have other people do stories for it that they'll pick. Like, I like the way you did this kind of story. I want this kind of story for this character. So it's also very different. Whereas manga only have like maybe have one person who does both story and the drawings. Sometimes they have one who's separate, like that only does the drawing and one only does the story.
Yeah.
But mostly it's like a 2-person. They have again assistants, but it's mostly like the head honcho is like 2 people.
Yeah. I eventually want to get to the point where I get to go to pick it up physically at a comic book store to support locally. And like when the issue releases, that's my thing to look forward to for the week or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what I want to get to. I'll get there eventually. I think I want to read a couple more that I've been meaning to, and then I want to catch up to one where it's like, okay, I'm reading it as it releases.
I might give you guys. So there's one that I read. I still have it. I bought them because I loved it so much. It's called Nail Biters. This isn't a superhero one. So basically, it's following a murder, and there's a murderer who his signature was like he liked biting the nails of his victims. That's how they caught him. Yeah. So you have to use him to catch another murderer in this town. It's actually pretty interesting. Jose, he's the one that got me into it. And I was like, I read it and I bought him. I was like, this is actually pretty
American
interesting.
Comic book.
Yeah, I think it's 8 or 9 issues.
Okay, yeah,
something like that.
But it's very interesting. But yeah. Anyway, okay, let's go. So the next topic I wanted to talk about. This has to do locally with a convention that we have, which is called Anime Banzai. I think it started back in 2007, 2006, around that area, around that time.
Back in the good old days.
Yeah, good old days. Like we were coming up to like the 20th anniversary. A few days ago from today, which today's the 9th of August, they announced that they are canceling the event. Forever. So we were like, what the heck happened? Like their tickets already bought. There were hotels already reserved. They were in this big fiasco. Like we're trying to see what we can do to give refunds out. We found out that the hotel that hosts the event, I think some people aren't getting the refunds from the hotel. I'm like, oh crap!
You mean like from the rooms?
Yeah, from the rooms.
Well, if they booked a rate that wasn't refundable.
Yeah, and so
just kind of what goes to it. Yeah.
Yeah, so that sucks for them. So there's a lot of parts, a lot of people that are really upset, both because of the con being canceled and the financial repercussions of it. So there was a video that they had released, and it had to do with a meeting that they had. So because
they do meetings like every a month or something like that, once a month.
Just to make sure they're on track for stuff.
Yeah, like just what's the plan, how they're gonna organize things, all that stuff.
Sure.
And
they have to make them public. That's the
they
thing.
have to. Yeah, that legally they have to make it public. I don't know if they've released them all. Like in the past, I really don't know. I just know the one that they confirmed that Banzai was canceled was the one that was shown. I don't know if maybe they can send it to everybody or put it on whoever's YouTube channel that was to do it. But yeah, so it was just a shit show. Like it was very unprofessional with the video. Stupid lady's daughter, who's like an adult, being super loud and being Karen like. It was bad.
So really I wanted to go over just a few things, some points that were in the video, but also things that were posted later on from other people that did some digging. So first and foremost, one of the things that happened is I think they said back when they started coming back for COVID. So when COVID first started, they were saying, "Oh, we're going to still have our con." That was the idea. This because COVID in 2020 happened. March is when it came to the U.S. and they were like saying
February 25th is when they started doing work from home.
Yeah. So but anyway, around that time, they're like, "We're still gonna have the con. We're just gonna be very careful." And then they announced, "No, we're canceling the con." So apparently for 2020. They had about $300,000 that someone or some embezzled. We don't know who it was.
How much money?
$300,000.
Damn.
I don't know who. I don't know what happened. They haven't released that information, but that's what came out. In 2020, there was $300 that was embezzled. Boom. A little bit before that, back in like when we first did the con back in 2013 or 2012, I can't remember which. When we went, there was this girl. I can't remember her name, but she was like the one the head of like the communications and the advertisement and media. And I remember, like, she got my phone number and she was like, hey, anytime there is, I wish. Yo, she was super hot.
My man.
Oh, okay.
She was hot. She had this, I'm not talking about it.
She's probably listening. No, wait,
Hey,
whoa.
Hey, let's hype him up. Hey, David's a good man. Okay.
She had this nice tattoo on her leg. It was cool. But anyway, I'm going to stop saying.
Okay.
So anyway, she would call.
I think this needs to be its segment on its own. Where
Yeah.
are you going with this?
No, I'm saying,
I wasn't there.
I know.
Pay me a picture, brother.
I'm not, I'll paint a picture later. Yeah.
You're talking to the two best people right now.
Come on.
I need to tell you about the professionalism.
I'm very intrigued.
Professionalism. So she got my number. She's like, hey, I will let you know when there is like an actor who is, ready to do an interview, or if there's a panel to go to, I'll let you know. So I would consistently get a call from her or text saying, hey, we have so and so ready for an interview.
She had a boyfriend at the time, so no.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
Or maybe husband now. Who knows?
But it doesn't matter. So she would say, hey, are you ready? I'm like,
there's a chance.
yes. So she said, yeah, let's go. And so we would get to the place. We would do our interview. She'd be like, okay, if there's another person ready, I'll let you know. She was on top of it. Like, I was never seen such professionalism and so much I care.
And she was like an owner or like a founder?
She was
just the person who was running.
Who was in charge of the media.
Okay.
She was in charge of all that stuff that year, and she just murdered it.
Okay.
So after that, it was never the same. Like, after she left, it was
What year would
never.
that be?
That was like, I said 20. I don't know when she left, but that year that she was in charge of the
I think it was
media
the one and only year,
was like
'cause I don't ever see
2013,
her.
2014, somewhere around that time.
Got it.
Apparently what happened is there's a lot of this is all volunteer work. So apparently a lot of the like well-known or like the well-versed in like that type of area left. Don't know why, but people were saying there was some sort of internal conflict. There were conflicts between the people that were running it and the people they were hiring or having them volunteer with helping with different sections and areas of the con. Don't know all the details, but there's a mass exodus of volunteers, so they had to get new ones. Not as good. Like, if you ever listen to any of our reviews of Anime Banzai, like, Diego can tell you, Miss Miss can tell you, like, we were always like, it's okay. Like, for the past, like, almost 10 years, it was very stagnant. There was no growth. There was nothing going on. And so there's this of, like, they're only catering to a very small community. Very strong community, very small community, and they're not wanting to expand. We were like, why aren't they trying to get more people? Why are they trying to?
Why aren't they getting voice actors? Why aren't they getting like?
They got voice actors, but it felt like
things?
it was like a secondary thing.
They were like, oh, this is a voice actor who played.
They
Girl
weren't
B.
invested in it.
Girl B in anime.
Man in suit.
Yeah, things like that, and fucking worky all the time. Anyway, that's another story.
He doesn't like Worky. It's some
Music guy.
He's local.
Okay.
He's just but yeah, they would do that, and they were like my brother was saying, they were catering to more cosplayers, so it was just kind of like and then they were trying, if this is me, it felt like they were trying to bank on the nostalgia of like the early 2000s and mid 2010s of the con, of how it worked. Okay. And that's all they did from 2014 to now.
So they just kind of relied on their reputation.
Yeah. And it but the thing is, it felt the same way, but nothing was new. So it's like, oh, this is the same thing I'm going to expect every year. It's just going to be boring. It
sounds like Disney franchises.
It eventually just kind of goes stagnant.
Okay.
And so you're just kind of like, it's going to be the same kind of thing. I go there, people dress up as cosplays. There's the anime music video contest. There's a cosplay contest. There is the stuff where you can buy stuff. Like, okay, but like there's nothing new. Like, the panels were unorganized. They just weren't great. Like, the only time you'd know the panels were great is if you went to it and then the person who was speaking was very involved, or they got people to work together in a really good way. So that's how it would work. But 9 times out of 10, the panels were bad. You'd have people just don't know how to talk. They're too nervous.
Recently, right?
Yeah. And it was the steady decline from 2018 to now. It was a decline of that. Okay. And so you could tell, like, oh, this was a good panel, or something like that. And it just, as much as I enjoyed going, it was draining because the the fun of Banzai would die within the first 3 hours of being there. Because it's like, okay, I went to the store, I looked at some stuff, maybe I bought some stuff, I went and looked at some panels, and then it's like, okay, that's it for Friday. I'm just gonna have to wait for Saturday for the AMV contest because that's like their biggest thing, in my opinion. Because
it is
2
that
hours
and the cosplay contest,
and you get a paper of like the animes of the music videos that people make, and you can vote for them. I just keep them so that I can watch them when I go home because some of them are really cool. But that was it. Like there wasn't anything drawing me to like other places. Like, question for you: when you went to like San Diego Comic-Con, obviously you couldn't go to every panel, but those panels are going to be very organized to the T compared to what we get in Banzai, right?
Yeah, my brother and I only went to, I think, 2 very small panels. Like, the panels that are worth going to, you wait hours on end. And so our first time, we didn't want to wait in line for a crazy panel. We only had 1 day. This last year, we had 2 days. It's very commercialized experience, which has its pros and cons. It's very well ran in the sense that
they have to make sure you get your money out of it.
They make, there's fire codes, right? So you can't clog up certain lanes. So they have very good, very capable security. Like, we're not talking rent-a-mall cops. We're talking about like guys with actual weapons, and they hit the gym. Some of them are on steroids, you can tell. And they're very professional. They know about it. All of their staff, where they have third-party staff members taking care of lines, like, this is where the line starts, this is where the line ends, and they have a hard cutoff, like, you can't sit here because it'll clog up. Anyways, it's fun in the sense that there's a lot going on, but unless you have insider knowledge, it's hard to go to certain panels. It's hard to even understand where the exclusives are going to be for, what's it called? Selling, like merchandise or companies that are selling. It is fun. It's very fun, but it's not digestible. I'd say FanX is a better experience where if you're willing to wait even just 2 hours, probably max, you'll get into a really good panel and see. But yes, to Diego's point, it's very well organized. Everything is tip top form. The sound's always on. The audio. They were premiering Street Fighter 6 before it released, and they had there were like 4 pros that were there playing. Like, they had a basically King of the Hill tournament. My brother and I were there. It was so fun because of the guy that they had just knew how to control the crowd. There was easily 150 people in that room, and they had computers and stuff in the back where you can go play it, and Xboxes and PlayStations. But everything we went to, even though it was on a smaller scale, was very well ran and organized. You can tell that you do get your money's worth as long as you know what you want to do and you can do it.
Okay. Good.
For sure.
Good to hear.
Yeah, so it's like it is a good experience. I do want to go back at some point, but I'd have to find a way to find insider knowledge to get to like those certain exclusives, and maybe decide if I'm with a group of people to wait out like a whole day for a panel.
Yeah.
Just for the hell of it. Because just a quick thing, you can wait 4 hours in line and hold it for up to 4 people per person, if that makes sense.
Oh,
So if you
that's
have a
nice.
party of 8, 2 people, you can cycle every 4 hours to get breaks.
That's actually good.
Oh, nice.
So I did want to go into now what was like the straw that broke the camel's back. So there was all this stuff that was happening. But then they had this meeting that happened a few days ago. They were talking about, okay, we need to find out what we need to do. So what had happened was there was a cosplayer who goes by Artemis. They had been picked to be a cosplayer judge, which is a big deal. And Artemis, I don't know the cosplayer, like the cosplay community very well, but apparently this person is very big. And they've done cosplays contests and or they've been judges in other places. I think they said like Illinois. I can't remember the exact states, but they had chosen him or her. I can't remember. I don't remember, but they chosen this person to be the judge. And people were upset because now there was like quote unquote accusations or allegations. I would say accusations that there had been some misconduct with this person. I don't know the full details, but that was what was said. So the Banzai people were like, what are we going to do? There's people that don't want, they want this. There's other stuff like saying like, oh, he's local. he's going to be biased towards the people that he knows or they know, and they're going to have them win instead of, being truly fair and just. Okay. So Banzai, with the greatest knowledge that they have, is they wrote this person letter saying, we actually can't have you be a judge, even though we've said okay, because we have a rule that we can't have any local judges, which, as far as I know, has I guess it has been a rule, but they've never implemented it. But they decided to implement it now because of these allegations and because of the feedback that they've gotten from people when they found out that Artemis was going to be cosplayer judge. He responds back saying, "This has never been a thing. Like, why are you doing this to me now?" So he decided to be like, "Well, I'm going to get some lawyers involved," and so
because it's a paid gig, huh?
So they're like, "Oh no!" So that's what they're talking about. That's where the meeting happened. That's where Miss was talking about. Like, there's this girl saying, "We can't let this guy in. He's a this, he's a that,
all this other stuff."
And he's like, if we let him, if we let them be a judge, then we might as well. And this is what got me mad. It's like, we might as well let Vic Mignogna back. Now I was like, okay. First off, my whole thing is, our U.S. Our U.S. courts say innocent till proven guilty. Vic wasn't proven guilty. This person, I don't know. There's allegations, but as of right now, there's nothing that's been confirmed that this guy did. If they did, and if Vic did those stuff, throw the book at him, get him out of there.
Sure.
But don't go like saying like that was what kind of bugged me. And the way that they were conducting themselves, like Miss Merced was like very like yelling, like, "I hear me."
There was one person who
It was one person.
Annoying.
And people were like, "Well, they're volunteers. They're not professional." I'm like, okay, but you're also handling hundreds of thousands of dollars.
It's a business.
It's a business.
Yeah.
Well, whether you get paid or not, you're handling that. You should be act yourself.
Responsibilities to handle this, to manage this, to organize how everything is going to be, and the way you're conducting yourself is very unprofessional and very childish.
And so this all led to them arguing. And there's also like there weren't enough people that were buying, as far as I remember, buying VIP passes or pre.
There was nothing VIP. There was nothing for VIP.
Yeah, there's nothing there for it. There's nothing for it.
There was stuff for VIP people, but it just kept going. Like I said, downhill. There just wasn't enough, so there wasn't anything worth getting for a VIP pass. Like it was like, oh, you're first in line, or you get extra tokens, or you get to go through the store an hour earlier before everybody else. Then
you get exclusives on.
Yeah, that's fucking good. Good. That's worth the VIP. Nothing. You get fucking nothing. You just have a badge that says VIP, and it just means you piss more money away.
Yeah, the VIP
people.
at FanX, my brother and I got it a couple years in a row. Very well worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can for the cutting in line alone at panels.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so with
panels and signings, right?
Yeah.
Panel sign, well, just
and you get like vouchers for those. If you like photo ops, you get vouchers for those.
Yep.
So this all led to them saying, well, we have to cancel because we have too many issues and we're just going to cancel.
Yeah.
Basically, letting you know that they can't handle the stress, and so they just kind of
and so there's a lot of blaming, saying they're blaming this Artemis guy or the issue. I'm like, he's not. They aren't the issue.
They wanted to point a blame at somebody, so they pointed at Artemis. Whether this person is an abuser or an asshole or not, they wanted to narrow it down and point it at somebody. And
that was the scapegoat.
How I view it is that it's a scapegoat, and we want to cancel it because they can't handle it anymore or something like that. That's just how I view it. How watching the video, I only watched an hour and some change because it's almost a 2-hour video, but like it was ear splitting because that chick needs to shut the fuck up. She's so loud. But like it just seems like that's what they were trying to do. They're like, okay, nope, we're done. I can't handle it anymore. No, I have too much on my plate. Blah blah blah. It's like they get other people to do it. You don't need to be part of it. You can resign. You can move on. Get new blood in because a lot of these people, because they've said, oh, Banzai started with friends that wanted to make a con. Okay, but if you're not good at running the con, get other people to run the con. People who know how to run a con, and then get it growing.
Yeah, some people are only good for ideas, not for the actual execution.
And that was the thing.
Steve Jobs.
And that's the thing for them. Like they had a good idea to have a con in Utah, but for the longest time they just They grew to the point where they moved from Sheraton Hotel to the Davis Conference Center, which is bigger.
Okay.
But then I felt like they got what's the word? Comfortable there. Complacent. They're like, we don't need to grow anymore. And that's how I felt just the entire time. So there was a lot of red flags that have happened in the past few years that this con has just past that haven't that didn't get any better.
Yeah.
And so I knew the end was imminent. I just didn't know that they would be right now be like, okay, we're done. We're just going to drop it.
Is,
2 months before they have it.
And what's crazy is
2 months. So stupid.
There's three big things. One, the 300,000 that went missing. If that were to have been used for 2021's Banzai to stack on top of it, that convention would have been huge. That would have had they could have brought more voice actors. They could have brought more things. They could have had bigger, better things. They probably could have asked I don't know, like the San Diego Comic-Con type of thing, like bring a video game company, like, hey, Bandai, can you bring our booth and have people play? Or Konami, can you bring something and do that? Like something cool that make people come in. Yeah. And that way the VIPs would be important. And then that went away. And then
you have three very big events.
Yeah, that money they could do that would have. So whoever stole it ran away easy because the people who are running it are very unorganized.
I don't know. I know there's some names that have been said, but I don't know.
If you want to, it's on YouTube. They have it there. If you want to watch it, they have names. They were spouting the names. It's supposed to be a very professional setting. They were very unprofessional. So
I guess you could call that Artemis Fowl.
Yeah.
But if you're interested, I hope you get off.
Yeah. And then what was the other two?
It's a dumb joke.
I understood that reference.
Yeah.
Good books.
So the embezzlement, and then
they have to know who embezzled it. That's anyways.
It's just been very stagnant, and it's just been kind of again.
They just weren't good at what they're doing. Once it grew too big, then they kind of just made other people take care of it.
It's not even too big. They just didn't know what to do. Yeah,
to them it could be too big.
Well, they happen. Keep in mind, there's people it happens in the work environment. Like when someone reaches a certain level of promotion, you can tell they're just like, I'm making the money I want to. I don't want to put in any more effort, and they just kind of skate on by because they were grandfathered into it. That could be one of these where they're like,
or like, have you ever seen? Or
no, that's it, man.
Oh, like, have you seen have you ever been a part of or seen a company grow, and it just explodes exponentially, and then they replace the CEO because he's only good at handling small companies, and then when it becomes a big company, they buy him out and they get the big guy, and that's how they're able to make it grow. I was a part of a company like that with this diabetic company I was with years ago. That guy was great at running a small company. Once it became an enterprise, they booted his ass out and got a bigger guy.
Diabetic shock.
Yeah.
Better than that.
Thank you.
But it's bad. Like, this was bad, and I feel bad for the other stuff. The people who pre-ordered tickets.
Yeah.
So the website's canceled. The website's not that, and they're not getting refunds.
They're not guaranteeing refunds. They said send an email to the air, but we can't guarantee you get a refund.
But the thing is, I've been seeing when people are sending emails to the refunds, it says the user does not exist or contact another person, and that person's not replying at all.
How much is the tickets?
Some people have spent $180.
God,
no, but that's not how much the ticket is. No. I think the ticket.
I'm saying people have spent $180.
I want to say it's early as $50, $60, $70, somewhere around there. As it gets closer, there's deadlines. After same thing as FanX. After this date, then it gets more expensive. So I don't know, but I mean, you're talking about people who bought not just for themselves, for their family, for their friends. They're out money. You're like, I'm sorry, I don't know what happened to money.
Even if it was $1, look, the principle, because to me, it's like you can cancel something within 2 months and almost think like you're cutting your losses, but it could still be a benefit for them. They're cutting the potential loss in the future, but they're making money right now off of it. I'm going to use this example, like Logan Paul with his little crypto thing, his animal thing, stupid. Right? Like
the egg thing.
He's so big now that he just can't be affected. But it's like, I don't know. That's why I believe in boycotting. But he lost like a bunch of people. There's millions upon hundreds of millions of dollars that were essentially thrown away. Nobody got refunds as far as I'm concerned. That's been almost 2 years.
Yep.
And he's living life good. It's like he's not even affected by it.
People still support him.
Yeah. So that's one of those things where I think Banzai should refund every single dollar to any consumer who bought certain, like, whatever.
Yeah, and I don't like it. Again, they're a big difference. Like, well, they're just volunteers. I'm like, I don't care. You're handling money. That's like I don't care what volunteer you are. You're still handling someone else's money.
A nonprofit is still an organization.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah. You still have money that you're doing. Like, and that's the other thing is like their con was like on razor thin margins, like profit. And I'm like, and they were okay with that. And I'm like, no, you have if you want to make more money so that you can invest more money in the con. But they were like, nah, it's okay.
Yeah.
We made enough to get by. The cosplayers are fun.
Another year.
Yeah, to make another year. And
Bring back sexy tattoo leg girl.
Yeah,
I
forget her name. I wish her name.
I forget.
You don't.
It's been like almost. It's been like 8 years.
You don't have her number in your phone
it's been
still.
10 years.
No, not anymore.
Is it under sexy?
And a sexy tattoo leg.
Sexy leg tattoo.
lady. If you're
Sexy
out
leg
there.
tattoo.
If you're out there
And you're
David's
not
single.
married.
Yep.
Baby, come back.
Yeah, if it's been 10 years, but yeah, just it's annoying. It's sad to see it. I don't know if it's gone because people are saying like, oh, maybe next year, but I'm gonna be the pessimist on this. It's gone. And I think it's a good thing in that sense because I don't want the people who ran it to run it ever again. I want new people who are creative, but to handle the finances, you want someone who knows their finances.
Hey, a phoenix can rise from the ashes. If there's like a group of people or someone who has the funds for it, this can be the way they capitalize and become the anime convention for Utah.
Because
if they know what they're doing.
Banzai for a while, they were the only convention, like the only big convention.
Yeah, that's
like
what I mean.
maybe there were others, but they weren't a blip on the radar. Like now we have Anime Town, which is still growing. They're still learning. They're going to do their third year this year or next year. There's Hachicon, and then there's like a Disney one that's coming out. I mean, it's not an anime convention, but more conventions.
Yeah, FanX every year too.
FanX, and then there's like another one that's soon, but I can't remember. But that one's another anime convention. I don't remember what it's called, but that's growing. So they have what's the word?
Rivals. Competition.
Competition. That's the word. They have competition, but they're just not like we're
no.
still the head honcho. But it's like, bro, you don't have anything to offer other than the cosplay stuff. Like, I get the cosplayers probably make you money, or you tend to you're aiming towards the cosplayers, but like
you can still cater to them while still growing the rest of the business. But again, I'd venture to say, because there's enough venture, like Utah's a booming state. Sadly, I mean, I should be happy for it, but part of me is not.
Because it hurts the wallet, right?
It hurts the wallet. It hurts a lot of different things, but taxes, which is part of the wallet. But anyways,
that's what hurts the most.
There's enough people with money here who can create something that, to your point, they're interested in doing it and they have business sense, and I think they could really take it off and do it very, very, very quickly.
Yeah.
And so here's the post, just to kind of finish with this topic. Is there's someone in the Anime Banzai, the Facebook page, says they met with the board. I don't know exactly who's on that board, but they met with them, and this is the information they have. The venue is still secure for now. They said, and the reason is that typically they allow to even secure it. You need 50% to secure a deposit, and then they would allow them to have the con, and then after they could deposit the other 50%. But this year they've changed it to where they need 50% at the time that you're securing the time, and then you need the other 50% before the event. So now it's changed. So that also played a huge factor. And they're like, well, most of the time they get their money not from pre-sale, they get it from the days that people actually come in. So which is also why they're like, we're not going to want to do this. But They're saying here, and this is why this is like, I don't understand this. They said, so the news is they're still in the process to gather information if they can somehow work something with the conference center, and they're waiting to hear back from the con heads. But they said it's looking like a real good possibility we will see you all in October. I don't know if you're just blowing smoke up your butt. I don't know, because I don't know how much it is to secure the venue spot. I don't know. Don't work in that.
It's not cheap.
Yeah, so to get out of the 50%, I don't know. So I can't say how much weight this person's post has. Mm-hmm. But if they can get people to invest 50%, then it could still happen. Again, that's just the venue. Like, you also have to look at the cost of getting people to come, like the artist alley, people to come to vendors to come to sell their merchandise, getting food trucks over there. Like there's still a lot of things you have to do. And so I don't know how much weight you can put into this because there's still a lot of stuff. And again, you have 2 months. Their head leadership just announced that they canceled this. So I'm pretty sure there's a lot of vendors who are like, I'm booking out. I'm looking for something else.
Yeah.
So to find vendors is going to be very skeleton based, even if they have
The merchants aren't going to stick around and
Last
wait.
minute thing like that, they're not going to want to stick. That ruins the relationship of those vendors. So if
it's a waste to carry and tote around inventory and wait and book around an entire. I mean, I'd imagine it's a 2 week, right? Because they need days before and days after for the setup and takedown. They're not going to wait for it. They're going to pull out. Yeah.
So I mean, this is the light, let's say, ray of hope that it still could come to October. I'm going to still say that's not going to happen.
Some business dude needs to snatch it up and create like the anime con and make it happen fast.
Have Anime Expo
year.
be like, we'll have it in Utah. Then that will make it huge.
Call it the Anime Expo.
The Anime Expo. And we'll have it. So anyway.
I don't have the funds for it. I wish.
Yeah, anyway, all right. Yeah. R.I.P. Anime.
Make it better.
I was going to have, this is going to be the year that Shark Team is going to come. We'll have the whole Chibi crew go. No. Well.
No.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's probably because I never went. That's probably because we never went. That's why I never.
Because your $50 would have made the difference.
Hey, look, all the franchises I support do very, very well. That's all I'm saying.
It's very true.
That's true.
See Pokemon ever struggling for money?
Well, that's because you buy like 15 copies.
What about Apex?
He doesn't. He only bought it once, and then he plays enough, so he doesn't have to buy it again.
Failed, yeah. Percy Jackson, the only book series, to my knowledge, that has a successful sequel coming out, which we'll talk about later. But yes,
I
don't think there's been another book that's had like an actual series.
Is this the Chalice of the Gods that we were talking about, or
It actually has 2.
yes? Yeah, I was like, I swear it has
confirmed
2.
for 2 more, so there's 3 seasons are going to be total.
Oh, you're talking.
Yeah, what did I say?
I thought you were talking about the books.
Oh, I thought you meant the books.
Oh no, I'm saying based on the books, I don't think there is currently any successful TV series based on a book.
Oh, TV series.
There is one. That's another book that I read. It's called Alex Rider. It's on Amazon Prime. It's actually a pretty good show.
Okay, well look, 2. All you did is argue my case.
I know about movies, but not books, not shows.
Yeah, I think there's The Magicians was actually pretty popular too. I think it was on Sci-Fi, oddly enough.
Because the series of unfortunate events, both the movie and the series didn't get a second season.
They did terribly, yeah.
Ouch.
That's just a hard.
But
book
you're not
to
a fan
do
of
with
those,
series.
I'm not a fan of them.
Yeah, see, look,
There you go.
Halo still strong, even though I have my quarrels with it.
Oh, there was somebody who wanted the rights to make a Halo movie.
What's his face?
Mac. Oh, was it?
The guy that does the one that hipster Paul loves.
Oh, Christopher Nolan.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, it's Christopher Nolan.
He wants to get.
I don't want to hear that.
Hey, come on, what he did for Batman, that he could do that for Halo.
What if he makes a more realistic take? It doesn't give the flood was like a vision in their head.
I've got your back. Okay, look, as much as you guys hate on him loving Christopher Nolan,
He's a dick
Christopher
writer.
Nolan.
There's a difference.
It doesn't matter. Christopher Nolan cares about his products. So
I'll say this as someone who's not a dick writer for Nolan. If he does it right,
just for One Piece.
good on him.
yeah, I'm not a dick
I'm
writer
not a
either,
dick
but I
writer for
acknowledge
One
the
Piece.
man is talented and he takes care of his product. His IP is nice. So
Okay, then if he can do that,
I will say this:
as long as
he
would not take
might.
it lightly.
Chief
He would do
doesn't
it.
fuck the Arbiter, I'm cool with it.
What?
So he does. Chief fucks the Arbiter in the series.
has,
The Arbiter's a woman, female, by the way. Out of context. There you go.
There's
Chief goes to town on the Arbiter.
Oh, you're talking about the TV series.
Yeah.
For some reason, I was relating
He
to the
pounds
game.
the Arbiter.
Oh,
The
and
Arbiter.
That doesn't make it better.
Yes. In the Halo TV series,
Pull up the scene. No, I'm kidding.
Master Chief sleeps with the Arbiter.
I don't want to see
All I'm
this.
saying is,
She's a human. She's not a.
So she's not a Sangheili.
The
She
Arbiter's
is a human. I
So
just
she's not a
said-
Sangheili.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
I'm glad-
different. That doesn't. That's even worse now.
Yeah, they-
Why would
they-
the Arbiter be just a random chick? Anyway, you know what? I don't care. Okay, we're moving from this. Okay, we're gonna talk about the.
Christopher Nolan can't do a worse job.
Yeah, sure. There you
That's
go.
all I'm saying.
I got your Japorion.
He can't do a worse job.
He can't do a worse job.
He can.
No, yeah. We just got told, first of all, it was a little bit misleading, but Master Chief fucks the Arbiter, who happens to be a female human. Like, you've automatically ruined 3 things in sequence.
Nothing makes sense, and it's one of those things where, I mean, we probably talked about it ad nauseum, but like, it's one of those things where you have freaking amazing source material.
It's right there.
Just use it.
Yeah, there you go. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're gonna do this now. We're gonna show. I'm not gonna show. We're gonna talk about D23 because it's happening right now. It's currently still there's another day of it happening. Today's August 9th. I said that already.
Day one coverage.
Day one coverage. So we have a lot to talk about. So so it started around 9 p.m., 8 p.m. Our time, Mountain Standard Time, and they announced a few things. So let's first start with some big ones that we don't have too much information, but they were announced. So first thing was The Incredibles 3.
Woo.
So what are you expecting from this? Like I was Incredibles 2 was fine. I did like it, but not it wasn't as good. And I didn't like it that they took 8 years, however many years, to just give us a sequel that happened literally right after the first movie ended. I'm like, why?
I think it was funny just because it gave us that meme.
Yeah.
Where they're like, it's too late. 15
years. Too late.
That was great.
That's funny.
So there was that, and I was like, so I don't know. What do you think, Boricua Senpai?
If I start off, we know it's going to be pessimistic. Look,
When I hear it,
Disney needs to
I'll be
stop.
optimistic afterwards. Don't
Yeah,
worry,
like
I got you.
just like these franchises. It's like, come on, like create something new. I know they're playing it safe because that Wish movie did terrible. I guess the Elemental, did that one do well?
Yes.
yes,
It
it
did- it
did
was weird.
better internationally, and later on, like in the initial, it didn't
See,
do good.
do that. That's cool.
Yeah.
I haven't watched. I'll watch it
I like
because
it.
it's new. But like,
It
they're
had a-
rehashing it. You'll talk about another franchise that's my favorite Pixar movie of all time. The first two alone, and that alone should tell you what one it is. But
Cars?
you all, of course, yeah, Mateer.
Mateer, my God.
Not on the same tier of thing that I like, but
I'm gonna start
but I love the first Incredibles is a beautiful
Incredible movie.
Yeah, really, pun intended. It's fantastic. I love the music in it. Like it's definitely its own unique aspect. It's like a Fantastic Four family, but with a fifth.
The Super Baby.
Yeah, I like it, but and it's a great franchise, a great storyline. It's who doesn't like it? It's a family that fights crime together, so to speak. But I get tired with the extension of because these movies. Come on, like move it along. It's decades later. That's it. I won't be a pessimistic anymore. I do like The Incredibles though, so
Yeah, I like it
I'll
too.
end up watching it. I just won't watch it in theaters.
Yeah, you're fine.
Hey, rob them.
So
I ironically just finished watching. My family and I started this a month ago. We just because we're all adults and we just have a hard time.
We're adults?
We're adults. I'm an adult. I might not act like it all the time, but just with everybody's busy schedules, we don't really get together as much. So we try once a month to get together for like dinner and like movie. And we decided to rewatch all of the Pixar movies. So we just watched Incredibles, and my family hadn't seen Incredibles 2 yet, so it was their
Okay.
first time. watching
Really?
it. Yeah, like we
Huh.
just watched it like maybe 2 weeks ago. If
Nice.
that. It's really good. I mean, obviously the first one was amazing. The second one is it's not better than the first one, but I still think it's a good movie.
It is.
I
Entertaining.
hope this third one is done well because I'll talk about. I do like them. I don't mind when IPs are used consistently as long as they're treated right. And I know which one you're going to actually talk about. I know it's not Cars, but there's a point where you're like you reach and you're like, okay, like I think we've told the stories we wanted to tell. It's just kind of time to let the
past
fran-
die.
let the franchise be. Like
Yeah, let it go. Leave it be. It increases its legacy, in my opinion.
That's why they haven't done a remake or make another sequel of a Goofy movie.
Yeah.
I would love
first
to.
Goofy and
Goofy
Extremely
movie.
Goofy movie.
say that
The
'Cause
first
now-
Goofy movie. No, well, they don't touch animation anymore.
They don't.
Yeah,
So
and
say
Goofy would
Emperor's
not
New
work.
Groove. Don't touch that.
Don't
Goofy
live
movie.
action it.
The second Goofy movie is
They're
actually
gonna
very
lie.
good too. Don't-
Extremely Goofy movie is good. No, they never.
Extremely Goofy movie is
They would never
fantastic.
CGI Goofy. They would never make a 3D Goofy.
They should never do. That's a fucking abomination.
They haven't done it with
Don't
Mickey.
give them-
Mickey's
don't give them any ideas.
Mickey's only 3D debut is from the Mickey's Playhouse, and that's it. He doesn't have anything else.
Don't do it.
He should never be 3D animated.
Did you see
But-
Emperor's New Groove in live action?
Oh God.
But like, imagine that. Like they're never gonna make a sequel to Goofy movie or Extremely Goofy movie.
Such a good one too.
Yeah,
But
they're both really good.
Yes, what they released 2 weeks ago. They released kind of like. Do you remember in the early 2000s, like punk goes pop, punk goes rock, punk goes. Disney did something like that, and they released like a punk, like Disney songs, but like more like rock and roll punk songs. No, they're actually not bad. There's a band called what is it called?
Magnolia.
Magnolia Park, and they did the Eye to Eye cover. It's actually really good.
I'll listen to it.
But he was like, I don't trust
I'm
you.
not hopeful, but I'll listen to it. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So
hold my breath.
they had that one. Toy Story 5 was announced. They're coming out 2026. They specifically said that the plot is basically the toys against the thing that kids are, which is like the iPad or like the
They can go fuck
screen.
themselves.
That's- okay.
That's the franchise I care the most about in
Yeah.
Pixar.
they.
Woody's back. That's my
Yeah,
favorite.
Woody. I see Woody in there. Like, what the heck? Didn't he go out with Bo Peep somewhere? And
Man, sometimes things don't work out.
This is an
Yeah, she
alternate
fucked up
timeline.
and cheated on him. Now
This
he's
is an alternate timeline. He didn't go.
they announced Frozen that they're gonna make 2 more Frozen movies.
why?
Because
It makes
they have
money.
so much information that they
Yeah,
have to
it's like,
make
so
two
many
more.
questions were unanswered in Frozen 2. You have to make 2 movies to answer them all. Like, okay.
Your coochie really give you frostbite.
We still don't know if they want to build a snowman.
Yeah. They never,
That was never.
all I
answered.
heard was, go away. That's not an answer.
I never watched the second one. I'm sure it's a fine
Neither have
movie, but
Second one actually pretty good.
never
I
watched
watched
the
the
first or
first one
second one.
once, and I was like, "That's good enough for me." It's not a movie I want to revisit, but
I've never seen any of them.
I don't. I mean, you're not
You're
missing.
missing out.
I'm okay.
They announced a new Pixar movie called Hoppers. It looks like some freaking gopher looking.
See, I'll watch that because that's different to everything else. I will willingly
That's
watch
a new
it.
IP that makes
Yeah.
So this is what it says. It says the film follows a girl who transfers her mind into it's a beaver, into a robot beaver to infiltrate their animal kingdom.
I'm hooked. I'm hooked. I'm hooked.
Look at this image. He's like, what?
That's different though. And
Yeah.
It's one of those things. Well, I mean, we don't know what this movie's gonna be good, but I think it's one of those things that is like it's hard to explain. Like,
it's a summary.
Whoever
you know?
wrote up that idea was
explain the
high as
anime
fuck.
plot badly. Like this.
Well,
Is
think of
This person was high as hell when they wrote this.
Do you remember fun animated movies like these where do you remember especially the non-Disney ones like Over the Hedge? Do you remember that?
yeah.
I liked Over the Hedge.
Yeah, or Open
I didn't have
Season.
cable, but we had movies.
Yeah,
We
Open
had Blockbuster.
Season.
Yeah.
You guys, like those are fun because they're not made to make sense. They're just meant to be comical, and they have some sort of underlying story, which makes the movie move along. But I like movies like that.
Yeah.
Almost even with the approach, I think they could have done way better at it. But the DC Super Pets,
Oh yeah, that
they
one.
I
had
remember
some
that,
of those. They had some of those fun elements. I think that they fell kind of flat, but the bones were there, and that's so. I'm hoping that Hopper's movie is
Or the Pets movie. Those were good.
I was hoping. Oh no,
The Life of Pets.
the Secret
Yeah,
Life of Pets.
that
Yeah,
was
the
Life
Secret-
of Pets.
Those are good. Yes, those two are good.
I was when we first got the news of it's called Hoppers, right?
Hoppers, yep.
I'm not gonna lie, I was actually secretly hoping it was like a spin-off of like Bug's Life, and we were just talking about what's his name, the voice actor.
Yeah, Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, I was just like he's making a comeback.
Who,
Like, yes,
who
I
was
thought that too. Yeah, he was
He's
acquitted.
making a comeback.
who was acquitted, by the way. We didn't
Yeah.
record this, but I was telling these guys, I was on YouTube, and oddly the algorithm suggested Piers Morgan, who I never watch or listen to, interview Kevin Spacey. And I'm just like, let me just check that, because I was always a fan of Kevin Spacey. Yeah. So I wanted to see because I completely forgot about him, because he's been like just buried in social media. And I didn't realize that he was completely acquitted and found innocent, which is a travesty that despite him being innocent, he's still tarnished and like blacklisted.
See, that would be
ruined his
cool
reputation.
if Hoppers
So-
was like the prequel to him
His-
being the bad guy.
Yeah.
yeah, like,
And then-
I actually want to see that.
Or he survives the bird and
Somehow.
he changes his life. Either one is I'm okay.
Or
with that.
he rains down on those ants. That'd be awesome. I came back stronger.
I actually just rewatched that movie, and that's one of my favorite Pixar movies.
No,
Bug's Life.
that era of Pixar is difficult to beat. It's hard to find a Pixar movie within the early 2000s to
late
about-
90s, the early 2000s.
yeah, that's right, late 90s to probably even up to 2010. I don't think that there's an awful Pixar movie.
Can I tell you something? A random thing. Also, we noticed that's not on. It is on. I think they finally added them on Disney Plus that I missed from old Pixar movies. The fake outtakes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I like those.
Bugs had them.
The one
Toy
with
Story had
The
them.
one with Bugs. Are you saying I'm stupid? She just starts laughing.
Yeah.
It was great, man. I miss those little things. That
Or
they
when
used to
the
do.
when the Bugs Life bugs were like, we're gonna be in another movie. Oh yeah, Bugs Life
Bugs
2. It's
2.
like, well, it's not really Bugs Life 2.
What is it? God.
Or when they draw the things on Buzz Lightyear's helmet, and they start laughing.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like,
Darn it,
"What?"
Woody.
Yeah.
No, I like it. I like it when he sees what's her. Oh my gosh, what's her name? The girl
Jessie
when he sees her do the little loop to loop.
Oh
He
yeah,
goes,
yeah.
and it says for rent space for. He's like, darn it, Woody.
Yeah.
I miss those. Like, it's a little thing, but yeah, I miss those. Things.
Rush Hour did it. They had. I mean, those were actual outtakes. They weren't animated, but showing bloopers while credits are rolling is a lost art.
That's probably one of the best bloopers ever. The Rush Hour 2 when they kick him out. Oh damn!
You'll be
That guy's not
right
gonna be a Rush Hour 3.
Yeah. So, but yeah, early Pixar is hard to find a shit movie. I don't think there is one.
Yeah.
No,
There could be one that are like, not the best, but it's still a good movie.
I think the bad movies, even though it wasn't really really bad, just didn't make a lot of money. I think was A Good Dinosaur. That's when it started going down.
and that was early 2010s, I believe. And it wasn't awful, but it
wasn't that good.
lackluster.
Yeah,
Pixar
it was.
movie.
It was. Yeah.
I still liked it because it had dinosaurs.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I didn't hate it. I'm just saying, I think that's when it was.
Yeah. Speaking of Ice Age, is one of those franchises that should have died off a long time ago.
I was okay with the second one.
No, I'm
God.
Yeah.
like two okay.
Two okay. The
Once you
third,
start doing three,
four.
I'm like, okay,
I think they have 4,
I think it's 5.
5.
They have
I don't even remember.
yeah.
I just remember the Ice Age. I'm like, why?
They have 1, 2, the dinosaurs.
No, no.
They have.
The Dawn of that. Call something about dinosaurs. I'm like,
The
what do you
one
mean?
where
They're dead.
like, on icebergs.
I don't know.
Sure,
I didn't
I don't
watch
know.
past 2.
And then I'm pretty sure they're making another one that they actually want to like end it with that ties to the first one when they meet the kid when he's grown up. But it's weird because he hasn't been in any of the movies.
In any of them, yeah.
They haven't been human since the first movie.
Another dinosaur probably killed him.
So here's all the movies that Pixar has released.
Well, not that they released or that they announced. Now we're talking about announcements.
I'm saying which one that started failing.
All right, bring it up.
Okay.
You have the list up. Go ahead.
So Toy Story, A Bug's Life,
Great.
Toy Story 2, Monsters Inc., Finding Nemo, The Incredibles, Cars, Ratatouille, WALL-E, Up.
Oh,
I
didn't like
personally
WALL-E.
love WALL-E.
WALL-E was good.
I
though.
didn't like WALL-E.
You made a, but I'm saying like it was
I still
successful.
did good. Yeah, it was
I like
fine.
WALL-E.
Toy Story
I didn't-
3, Cars 2. I think Brave.
Yeah,
I think
there you
honestly think Brave.
Cars 2 was blah.
Cars 2 was bad too.
Yeah.
Brave was kind of okay.
Okay, it started with Toy Story 3. There we go. They took the best one and ruined it.
Monsters University, Inside Out.
Monster University was okay. Was actually okay.
I
Inside
think-
Out was good.
Good. The Good Dinosaur, Finding Dory, Cars 3, which they should never have made a third.
But
one.
the Good Dinosaur was. I don't know why.
But they redeemed
it
themselves
sucks.
after Cars 3, Coco.
Oh yeah.
No, they have good ones since, but it's
not
not consistently.
Yeah. So okay, Cars 3,
No,
Toy Story 4, Onward, Soul, Luca, Turning
Luca was
Red,
okay.
Lightyear.
Red was okay. Lightyear was horrible.
So 7 films, and then I think Elemental financial flop, but actually was not a bad.
No,
movie.
it didn't. It didn't.
It just didn't
we just
do well.
talked.
The first couple weeks was like its lowest opening, but it ended up being one of its big.
I liked it.
Internationally
I liked
was
it.
big.
Yeah, which I just don't think they promoted it well enough. They showed it, but they didn't show enough of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just showed 2 teenagers seemingly having a crush on it. That is not good promotion. Fuck you, Disney. Anyways,
Onward.
need to
Onward
watch
was actually pretty okay, but it only went to streaming.
Yeah,
No,
because of
we
COVID.
don't. We watched it in theaters. Literally the day before we
Yeah,
watched
it was
it,
the
and
day
then
before
COVID's like,
Ryan.
go home.
Oh yeah. So
I went on a date to
Yeah.
see it in theaters. I saw it in theaters, and then
Okay,
I
it-
remember after COVID started and a couple months,
No, it was
they
like-
released it on
Yeah,
streaming.
streaming.
And then I told my family, like, "Oh, I've already seen this movie." They're like, "Oh, it just came out." I'm like, "No, it was in like it was like
Yeah.
the last thing I did before."
That was the
like,
last one.
wasn't Raya? Wasn't that Pixar too?
Yeah, that was a good one.
Which one?
We
Raya and the
legally
Dragon?
streamed.
We legally streamed it.
Oh, they didn't want to show it.
yeah.
That one's okay. Yeah.
I actually thought that one was good.
I like that one.
I don't think it was okay. I actually thought that was a really good one.
I forget about that one, but that
Oh,
was good.
because that wasn't in theaters. That was just straight to
That was
Disney.
straight to
Yeah,
Disney.
that was a
so-
good one.
Because remember they had like
What a
their
shame.
premium one because like Mulan also
You had to
they
rent
like you
it?
had to rent it $20 and you didn't even own it. I'm like
that shit.
fudge that.
Yeah.
bullshit.
Well, anyway, okay. So here's other ones quickly with Pixar. So Zootopia 2 was also announced, and they showed like a little teaser trailer.
I did like the first one.
I do like it. It doesn't need a second.
And then they showed a few other things. So they showed the name of the new Avatar, which was called second one was called Way of Water. This one's called Fire and Ash.
James
I don't know.
Cameron's Avatar.
James Cameron.
Shut up! I don't care. I'm not gonna watch it.
Blue people.
I'll
Neither
watch
will
it.
I.
They have a movie called Freakier Friday that's gonna have Lindsay Lohan and
Jamie Lee Curtis
back and reprising their roles to that.
He's like 90 years old now.
And she's still doing that.
They can still have body swap.
They have a new trailer, which I don't care for this at all. I'm never gonna watch this. Mufasa. They showed a new trailer for that, and apparently it's like Rafiki talking to I don't know who it is. It looks like Nala, not Nala. What's Simba's daughter's name?
Simba's daughter's name?
I can't remember.
Anyway, Rafiki's talking to
Lion King 2.
Rafiki's talking to Pumbaa and Timon and telling the story about Mufasa. Kiara. I think it's Kiara. I haven't seen the actual trailer yet with like actual sound, but that's what it looks like. Then I said we already said the Frozen one. They showed. Let me see before we go to other big ones.
I will watch Zootopia 2 now. I think it was a good movie. Yeah.
They showed the new trailer for Tron.
Tron Ares.
Are people really interested in Tron though? I've never heard a real conversation being like, Tron is a really good movie, bro.
I've never seen it.
I don't know. I've never seen.
I haven't seen a lot of things. So
Yeah.
I was
saw
supposed
the
to watch it when I
second
came
one.
back from my mission, and I never did.
I saw
was like,
Tron Legacy. I wasn't impressed.
I didn't see that either.
Visually, it was nice.
Okay.
It was
I never
like
watched
very
it.
aesthetically pleasing,
Never
and
watched
it wasn't shitty. But I didn't think it was that cool.
it's like what?
Like I expected it maybe to be cooler.
Like an okay movie, like 7. It's an average
A
movie.
7 to me is actually pretty. I'm very picky about movie. Like 7 is still like a good movie for me.
I'll watch it again.
Yeah, like
a 7.
7s I watch again. Probably 6 at most.
Oh, okay.
Moving on. Then they didn't show any aside from a picture that Percy Jackson and Olympians is in production for season 2, coming out next year. I thought it was gonna be 2026,
I didn't know that.
but it's coming out next year, and so this is gonna take
They're
place.
already 1 week into production now.
Oh, wait.
I just want to add that in there, fucker.
So
What was it? Oh, we didn't even talk about it. San Diego Comic-Con. It's not a spoiler because we already know what happened. I mean, the book's been out for a while. But they announced the actor for Tyson.
oh really? Who?
Yeah, I don't know who it is.
Oh, okay. So
I'll be honest, I'm terrible with names, but yeah, they showed who he is.
yeah, so this one is takes place, and this is going to be the Sea of Monsters is the book that they're going to adapt. It's the second movie that they did. Don't watch it. I watched it. I was like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. What is going
I
on
never
here?
watched the second. I only watched the
They took liberty on everything. I didn't understand it.
The first one, they at least tried to stick with the story, and then the second one, I was like, what the?
So to give you just a very small synopsis, I forget her name. What's the the one with Percy?
Daniel Dimer is playing.
Annabeth?
So Annabeth's the one that gets this
The Jewel.
not journey, quest, right? No, who? Oh no, it's not her.
It's Clarice.
So it's Clarice, yeah. So Clarice gets a quest to do something, and then
You get it.
and then Percy and them are like, we need to figure something. Like it kind of involves them what they wanted
Fuck.
because one of their friends is taken. So like we want to go on this quest, but they're like, no, this is Clarice. Like this is my quest. So
I
she's
don't
like,
want you.
I don't want you. She's like, well, screw you. We're gonna go and do it anyway. So that's that's the story takes place. There's a quest that's given to Clarice. Their friend is in danger because Percy has. I'm not even talking about it, but Percy just knows his friend's in danger, and they're like, "Okay, we're gonna go." So that's where it takes place. It's. You said the author says it's the best.
The author thinks it's his favorite book.
I disagree with
of the
that.
series.
His favorite book, the author who wrote his fucking book.
Yes.
It's his favorite book.
Yes.
You know what his favorite book is.
No, I disagree
Shut the
with
fuck
that
up.
being the favorite book because I don't understand it.
You mean it shouldn't? Yeah, I
I don't understand anyone else who would say that's his favorite book.
You can't
It's
disagree.
his favorite
That's
book.
like J.K.
He's the
Rowling
raw
saying that her favorite book is book 1. I'm like, no, it's not.
Why can't it be her favorite book?
Because it's not the best book.
do you
It's not the
think
best
should
thing
be
she
To her
wrote.
it is. Maybe to her it is.
What do you think should be her favorite one?
Of J.K. Rowling?
Yeah,
The 6th.
For her book.
Yes.
I go.
4 is right up there, but
I've
it'd be,
enjoyed 5th the most.
I would go 4.
That's what you guys enjoyed. What she likes.
No, of course. I don't know what. I don't know if she's ever been quoted.
I don't know.
as
I don't
what
know.
it is.
But still, he's like,
I know what you mean.
She can't like this book.
I'm not saying she can't like this
That's
book.
what you're saying.
No, I'm just saying
You're a piece of shit.
you have
That's
two people who know the story, and it's like
Okay, and
it's
he knows
not
the story, and maybe he likes that.
maybe it's because of maybe anime, but even we don't even get like as much information about it. But we get some slits and slivers, but
I do know his thought process behind it. For him, he's based in his mind. It's the reimagining of the Odyssey.
yeah, I can see that with
Oh,
the whole.
maybe
pinnacle.
you can
It's
see
his,
that.
But that doesn't. No,
That's like the pinnacle of his. It's like the thing that either a lot of people, like artists, would love the catalyst to their career or their crowning achievement is something that's definitively changed the course of whatever art they're doing. So
Yeah.
if that's his like Odyssey thing,
Yeah.
then that could make sense.
And that's his because he's like, okay, that was one of my. Still
Because
is
the Odyssey's the
it's
Iliad.
one of
Oh.
one of the greatest books ever written. It's
Literally.
it's literally a modern retelling of the Odyssey.
Okay.
I mean,
From his perspective,
from his
his
perspective.
universe.
Yeah.
Which now that I think about it a little bit more, I'm like, okay, I do like because it's one of my favorite stories. But of his books, it's
I'll have to
not
read
my
them.
favorite.
Yeah.
Number. I mean, we talked about this. Number 5 is.
dude, that one goes
That one
goes
could
ham.
literally just be like a comic book where it's just like, dude,
You
just
fight,
like,
fight.
just Greek fighting like everywhere. It's great.
Nice. I'm gonna have to read them.
They're good. They're good. And then after that, you can do. They have like a comic book of it, but don't do the comic first because I was doing that for like the 4th book, and I was like,
He missed.
"What the heck happened?" Because he asked me about it. I'm like, "Okay, I have to go back and listen to it because they skipped over tons of stuff." I was like,
That's funny.
because then after I finished the 5th book, then I read the comic. I'm like, "Oh yeah, it didn't explain any of this. Like it just kind of glosses over like parts." And then you're like, no, unless you read it, you don't understand what's going on here. Because
Yeah,
it's just,
that's the one he had to like, what happened?
yeah. And he's like, oh, you remember this one? We're like, no. What?
That's pretty funny.
So anyway, I'm excited for this. Great.
I'm excited about it too.
Wow.
I like the series. It was nice.
They also haven't. Oh, never mind. I can't. That's a spoiler. Okay. I'll talk to you about it after.
Okay,
No
that's fine.
spoilers. Thank you.
They also announced. So I guess we can go into. Okay, so they also showed a trailer for Snow White.
Okay, nobody cares.
Like a live action?
Is
That's
this
gonna-
the one that has already had a lot of controversy over?
Yeah,
it?
Yeah.
because the dumb cunt said something. Sorry.
Hey, it's your opinion, and I can't tell you that it's not your opinion.
Well, she just said like the first one was creepy and she's bad talking. The first one like
Yeah.
So
Sorry that it's
But the
80
funny
years
thing
old.
about it is that they also had like they had shown what the dwarves look like, and they're
CG.
all people of color and all people of different sizes. I'm like,
They're not little people.
I know. I've seen all of the things that created massive controversy, and I think they've shut it up for a while in hopes that people forget.
No, they didn't.
The
They
fiasco.
didn't. It's not that they didn't shut up. They didn't talk about it anymore.
Yeah, that's why they shut them all up. Like they stopped
the
the
actors.
presses of
And you know what? I think because of her opening her mouth like when she shouldn't. I think honestly they delayed the release of this film because this film has been in production for ages, right?
it finished a while ago.
It finished. I think it finished right after COVID, like a
So
year
they
or two
probably
after,
were like,
they were
"Oh,
hoping
she's
it
running
blows
her,
over.
She's running
Yeah.
her mouth. She needs to shut up. Hey, dumb bitch, shut
Like
up."
September
Or
11th.
we're
Never
not gonna-
forget, always remember. Okay.
I bet you anything is probably going to flop big time money, and then she's going to cry about it, and so is Gal Gadot because Gal Gadot's the queen.
She's the queen. Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
But she hasn't said anything like this. She just was like
Yeah, 'cause
agreed.
she's smart. She doesn't say
She was like
shit.
Mike Myers, and the other chick was Kanye West.
Exactly.
That's why Gal Gadot's smart. She's not an idiot.
She's
So-
not a good actress, but she's a very pretty lady.
Yeah. So anyway, so they showed this.
Dumbass.
I mean, it looks kind of weird, but whatever. And they're like, "Oh, it's a Latina who's." I was like, "Yeah, but isn't this story? Isn't it like in the? It's not Swedish or German."
It's European.
It's European.
I'm like, they should be
It's a
European,
Eurocentric,
but they're like,
yeah.
that's who that's their race. Like, oh no, we want Latina. I'm like, okay.
This is my gripe, and I've had. I mean,
We actually just talked about this.
yeah, I have a lot of ethnically diverse friend group, like everyone has. Okay, I'm just very honest with all of them. So they're
Not
go, oh,
diverse.
you're mixed. You should care for representation. I go, yes, but not false representation, right? Why are you taking only Eurocentric stories and making them fit a image of someone of skin? tell a story from the Incan Empire, the Aztec Empire, the Caribbean, the African, like so much folklore and everything you could say, but no, instead you choose to take a European-centric folktale, which I like them. They're very fun. And telling that's pandering to me. That's where I was like, okay, you're not really being inclusive. If you want to be inclusive, tell an actual tale of these other civilizations that have existed outside of Europe, but they're taking European stories, and I have no issues with them. Some of the coolest stories that I like are European stories, but Africans have a lot of really cool folk tales. And
they have like there's lots of. The thing is, if they wanted to, they could pander to the Hispanics with a lot of Spanish.
It's not even pandering; you're just representing.
But you could do Spanish stories because people outside of the U.S. or non-white folks will be like, I don't know the story. It's like, but Latinos, well, guess what? They're gonna pay. They're gonna pay good money for it.
But that's the thing is they don't realize that because
look,
humans just like entertainment. If it's different enough and looks good enough, even the people that it doesn't apply to will watch it.
I mean, a good example
Latinos
is Coco.
and blacks are watching European stories, so why wouldn't whites like?
A good example is Coco.
Yes, that did phenomenally well.
Yeah, I watched it years later, and I understand why. Like, oh, this is so good, and now that was a box office hit.
Encanto did really, really well.
Yeah, it means to
in
sing.
Colombia. Yeah, it means to sing. So I'm going to take it back. So Diego had a podcast. No, you were not joking.
No. I'm
now you were. Yes.
For this context, so I'm joking.
Diego had, which I'm upset
because he said,
because it was so fun. No, I wasn't surprised. I forgot about that.
I put him on blast in the chat. So
I want to go home.
When this movie released a couple years ago, it was announced. Diego had a podcast with two of his buddies. Shout out to them. I always liked listening to them. And then they're like, oh, this Encanto movie. And they're like, oh, yeah, it looks good. And they're like, oh, this has a lot of music because it's very Pixar, Disney, music-esque focused thing. And he goes, yeah, Encanto, it means to sing. And the moment I heard that, because I was working, I immediately went to Messenger, sent the message to everyone. And I go, Diego, Encanto means enchantment, not to sing. So anyways, that was just...
but they all ended up like, oh, he's Hispanic.
They don't know any better.
I know.
They don't know any better.
He's like, oh, it means to sing, and they acknowledged, and you knew he just sat back smirking, like I knew something they didn't. Yeah, he did.
The powers of BS work.
Hated so much, so stupid.
Anyways, so yeah, Encanto, Coco. I'm trying to think.
Lucoa,
the Pacific Islander one. Moana did great. So you have proof that non-Eurocentric stories will make money, yet they continue to focus to try to pander to people. No, people will be fine if those are continually white represented things. Just introduce cool stories from South America, from Asia, from Africa, from the Caribbean, everything. Yes.
Incan, they can do.
I want to see them.
I have the money for it. Fucking do it.
I want to see them.
Lazy. They're literally lazy. This was our whole thing about
corrupt.
They're creatively bankrupt with it. They don't want to bother knowing about things. Maybe they will once every 10 films. Maybe D23 2025 they'll be like, oh, we're gonna do something with the Caribbean folks. This is a Pixar film, and that's probably gonna make a lot of fucking money. But it's like we're not gonna do that for like 10 years.
Spider-Man.
It goes back to like your
trash ass.
That's not what I was gonna say.
Hey, I was poor. I was not trashy.
We talked about was it Matt Damon who you were talking about?
Oh yeah, yes, it was
Matt Damon.
Who quoted this. Yes,
it's just so hard to make like
something profitable now.
Well, something different. That's probably.
Well, yes.
Well, I think that's might be why one of the reasons why it doesn't get done more often. And we've talked about we actually just talked about it earlier this week. I don't have a problem with things being changed. Like with I know some people hated in the Little Mermaid. It's like the Little
didn't
Mermaid,
bother me. I
it's
didn't
never
watch
specified like what like a mermaid can be.
But I hated Little Mermaid since I was a kid. I don't care if she's white, black, Chinese.
Yeah, she's a sea creature. There's no skin color. Doesn't matter on that.
Like that doesn't matter. I'm even talking about like if you want like superheroes. Like I don't have a problem. Like some people for whatever reason have hated Miles Morales because he's black and they're like Spider-Man's not supposed to be black.
He's not Peter Parker either way.
Peter Parker. If they just for whatever reason just like randomly doing it, even though it's someone who's supposed like they're supposed to be something.
Sure.
That I don't like. I pointed out what was the other one? Not Shang-Chi. Iron Fist. I'm like, yeah, that should have probably been.
Yeah, Iron Fist is an Asian tradition and a calling for Chinese, right? Specifically Chinese.
In the comic books, he wasn't white though.
Well, kind of his skin tone, but keep in mind it's an old comic.
He's also blonde.
Pixelation. but he has like a bandana.
Yeah, there's stuff in. I mean, I can see why they're like, oh, it's okay,
That
but
one
it's
I was
like,
Yeah.
that one you probably could like.
I was more
not-
upset with how he acted. I was like, this guy's acting
That was
sucks.
bad, but that was like okay, like
it was
you know
horrific.
what that could and is many times. Like that one could have been like okay, we probably should go with an Asian actor.
Well,
For that
of
one.
course,
For
to
that one.
honor the regional concept of the character, it makes sense.
Yeah.
That one.
I don't hear them crying that Donny Osmond was voicing or singing a Chinese character for Mulan.
Oh yeah, but that's singing. He's not physically representing it.
No, but that goes to the whole thing. Is like the whole thing with the Simpsons, where they're like, Carl has to be a black actor.
No, it doesn't. Yeah,
That's the whole thing now. Like they have to be. I'm like, oh, so now you're being racist because you say you can only be this type of character.
Yeah. Well, it's called acting.
Yeah, that's
And
the whole
why
thing.
that's why I'm open to it. Again, there's some aspects to stories where the actual identity of the character does matter to the story. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the regional aspects. Like if you think of like Eastern European, like if you're going to go with medieval, if you're going to talk about kings and queens in Europe, I'm sorry, there weren't colored kings and queens. They were all white.
They're all kings and queens.
Did you hear about like the whole fiasco with the
Like, if you did-
Cleopatra?
That's always been a very touchy subject. But like if you're gonna do a biopic of Genghis Khan, you better not pick a Latino. You better not pick a black guy. You better not pick a white guy. That is exclusively Asian. It doesn't have to be specifically Mongolian, but pick an Asian representative for it. That only is fair.
I expect my Wolverine to be actually Canadian. I don't care how good Hugh Jackman is. I need him Canadian. Canadian representation, man. Come on.
Let's take out the Ottoman Empire. Hey. But yeah, there are circumstances in which it does matter.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't, then I really don't give a rat's ass, and it shouldn't. But my point is, don't pander because you're just swapping a race for it.
they-
Make the story about the race, and then all of a
They
sudden,
race swap.
that's true.
They race swap roots.
You have Ryan Gosling. Way down in the water.
Yo, name Toby.
Toby be good.
He
Master.
gives me sleeps.
That would be horrible.
Yeah,
but-
Rosa Parks. Like,
With
I would be like, come on.
Glenn Close is Rosa Parks.
Yeah, it's a Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep.
Scarlett Johansson
That's
is
it.
Rosa Parks.
Scarlett Johansson already did that. She was
Yeah, she was Japanese.
she was Ghost in the Shell chick.
Anime doesn't count.
Okay,
Like,
what's her name?
There
Emma
are
Stone.
rare circumstances in which anime has an explicit race. Generally, it does not, though.
And she's also kind of a robot. But anyway, Emma Stone was supposed to be Hawaiian, like a
What?
native Hawaiian.
In what?
But
I can't remember what movie it was, but people
Hawaii
were
is a very
pissed.
diverse island, though. So
I know.
that
People were
it's like
pissed at
saying
that.
American. Like if it's American literally is from the whitest pale white to the darkest black.
if they called her a Howley in the film, then she's fine.
That's if she's. You know what? I'm not going into that. Okay. The point is,
What
was our point again? I forget what that point. Okay. Also, Moana 2, they showed that again. Actually, Japan saw it a few weeks ago because he was in part of the test screening.
I felt like that was 2 months, but yes,
2 months ago, maybe. Yeah, but he saw it.
It was a rough one. They still has like storyboard sketches. He said,
Yeah.
it's
So
not a completed movie, but he does know the general premise and idea. And stuff.
that is
Did you
true.
end up liking it?
I think he said it was
He said
okay.
he mostly liked it,
Mostly
but
liked
he
it.
did have some things that he wanted to see change.
Well, that's good promise then, because to your point, it's still like a rough draft, so to speak.
Yep.
That's cool.
Final thing before going to like Marvel stuff, they did show a teaser trailer of Lilo and Stitch live action coming out 2025.
I love that movie.
Oh, I love Lilo and
too.
Stitch. Does it need a live action?
Disney
No,
says so.
But it needed
None-
a third.
none of them
It
do.
needed a third movie.
Yeah.
I don't even recall the second one. To be
The
honest.
Lilo and
some of the
Stitch,
other
Stitch has a
experiments.
glitch. He has cousins, or he has like other.
Oh,
he's
it's
wearing
all
626,
Yeah,
Yeah,
all the other experiments.
and so he
They
has to
made a
catch them.
TV show about that. I
They
like
did.
that TV show.
There was an anime of it too, and then Lilo is a grown up.
Okay. See, that stuff I'm cool with. Don't bring it to the big screen. Like, I don't know. Movies are, because they're so quick and digestible, I've had to really think
Stitch
about
looked
that.
cool in
Yeah.
his CGI. Like
It doesn't matter to me.
They showed a new trailer for Captain America: Brave New World, where at the end you see the front of Red Hulk.
Okay.
I think it
Spoilers.
looks too early.
Yeah.
I don't care.
in the-
I saw it and it looks
Oh, he has the leak
horrible.
of it. Nice.
Like it looks like it's not finished. The
Is
rendering
it a movie
of
or
it.
is it going to be a show?
It's a movie.
Okay.
So like I'll show it to you later. But like Shark News, it looks rough. Like it looks like it's not finished.
Yeah.
See, look at it. It looks like plastic a little bit. I was like, I'm pretty sure they're gonna fix it up, but it looks like they're still polishing it
Red
up.
Hulk looks terrible.
Like the
movie itself.
No,
He still looks better than
Okay.
the other Hulk.
you just don't like Mike Ruffalo. I'm just kidding. I know.
I don't. I don't know how many times I don't.
I don't hate Ruffalo, but I hated what they did to that Hulk for sure.
Edward Norton's Hulk looks 10 times, but it still looks better.
Yeah,
and it's
literally
been like
today,
a decade. It's been over a decade.
Yeah.
The only thing-
I can say it, but you want to talk about spoilers on some of the stuff that he confirmed?
I don't
Spoilers.
care about spoilers. So feel
For
free.
the trailer, they said they are getting adamantium from
Yeah, they mentioned
They mentioned it from the hand.
Yeah, like I was talking about. You're like, no, you can't.
What
I
hand?
gave it.
I didn't say you couldn't do that.
You said it wouldn't make sense.
I did not
That's
say that.
adamantium?
That's not what I
Have it
said.
recording.
Nope. I look at it. That's not what I
Paul.
said.
accurate. Not from the eternal being, but from Antarctic.
So
There's
is that where
adamantium.
the X-Men got their adamantium in the universe?
We don't
That's
know.
where they could get it from. Yeah.
It's never. I mean, we haven't had a movie explain
Not
it
been
how.
confirmed.
Technically,
yet.
we haven't had an X-Men yet.
So I know we've seen adamantium now with Wolverine and with Deadpool, but it's technically not in the 616 timeline, the sacred timeline.
And I can neither confirm nor deny that I will be in the next X-Men movie. So
Yeah.
Yeah, he shaved he shaved his beard, so I can't tell anymore. If you remember last time, he had the Wolverine
That's
one.
his NDA.
Yeah. He just secretly spoiled it to us.
what is it? The Andrew Garfield's, I am not the werewolf.
They announced the Grogu and Mandalorian movie. We talked about that.
Yeah.
It could. I might actually see. Is that going to be like in theaters?
I would hope so.
That's a movie.
Okay.
I hope so.
And
I
then
might actually watch that.
and then oh no, that's not it. Where is it? Tron. Lindsay Lohan. Well, anyway, they also announced the Born Again, Daredevil Born Again. They will not announce, but they showed a new trailer for it. They showed two characters that are quote unquote new. So they confirmed, or we already knew that the Punisher was in it, but they actually see him in the trailer, and they're also gonna have the White Tiger in there.
We don't know if it's the female or the male.
It looks like the male one.
Missed opportunity.
Yeah. Where's your representation now?
Yeah, I was about to say it's one of those times where you know what, you could have gone.
Yeah, I wanted to see White Tiger back shots, just,
I like Stitch. I like
not
his design.
Her getting back shots, just back shots of her.
Stitch doesn't look bad. I like Stitch.
I can neither
Get that
confirm or
either.
deny that I'm in. This
Another reason I shall continue boycotting Daredevil.
Yeah,
Disney
you're
took
fine.
it over and they
You are
shouldn't
gonna-
have.
You are?
Yeah, I love the first 3 seasons so much that after all the fiascos that they did and considered, and I just didn't like it. They're going to Disney fight some way. Some aspect's going to be Disney, and I'm not a fan of it. That's my favorite TV series outside of like the legacy ones that I like the Sopranos and stuff like that. Like the Daredevil
Okay.
first 3 seasons, so good.
Well, it's interesting. It looks like they show different masks of Daredevil. It actually looks pretty cool. So
It does. I mean, the design when they had that yellow suit.
that was like
it
from the
looked really
original.
fucking cool.
Yeah.
But I just can't watch it.
So yeah, I don't know too much about what's going to happen in the show. I mean, again, they showed like a 30-second trailer. We'll have to look at it and so I can give you more information. But again, it does look as I say graphic as like the Netflix one, which again, that's good.
Sure.
I don't know about story wise. I do know that Foggy, Karen, their characters were at the actual floor, like in this on the. My gosh,
Pieces of shit.
they were there like when they're presenting it, so they were there talking and showing that they're
At the showcase.
part of it at the showcase. So
Okay.
take it out for what you will. I don't know how much they're going to be in it. I know they're in at
They
least one
deserve it.
episode.
I'm a big fan of both of those actors, so I
They're
hope
very
that
good.
they continue getting paid because they deserve it.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, I am excited for Daredevil. I want to see again. I guess more than excited, I'm optimistic that it's gonna do it justice. I kind of want to see how they gonna fit it in because they said it's part of the 616, right? I don't know how. I mean, they ran the Netflix series about what was it? What did they call it? The New York one? When the Avengers.
Oh, the Defenders?
No.
They
The Avengers
reference-
the Avengers event. What did they call it?
They just said the event in New York.
They're in New York. They showed like
say the New York incident, whatever it is, but they reference it. I think twice in Daredevil, 2 or 3 times in the Defenders, and then respectively Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and Iron Fist, which was horrific. Also, they all mention it like separately too, where they mention it, but they're like but they say it in a way where they're so detached, which is why I like it. Like they're like, well, we have no business doing that. We just do this here.
Yeah, I just worry about the streets.
Yeah.
Yeah, so again, and we've been told repeatedly, that Daredevil he's a street level hero,
as he should,
right? As he should be. They made Spider-Man that too. They specifically said he's a street level hero, which
he's reset to a street level. Hero.
I guess I understand, but also don't.
It makes sense and it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
it's allowed, but what he's been exposed to now, he is no longer a street level hero.
Yeah.
But anyways,
I thought Thanos. I'm gonna go fight some robots.
So dumb. But anyway, so optimistic. I don't know about you, Shark King.
Yeah, I'm optimistic. Like, I'm hoping it's this is one of those things that I'm actually trying to like. I'm not that I don't want to be spoiled, but I'm not actively seeking out the information for this.
You're in the wrong podcast, man.
Well, that's fine. It doesn't. I won't be mad. But it was just like X-Men '97. Like as soon as I heard it, I'm like, oh Lord, like please don't screw this up. Please don't screw this up.
And you were pleasantly surprised.
More than pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
To me, my X-Men.
Exactly. And that was the other small thing I sent. Was it yesterday or was it today? I think it was yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Apparently, Disney/Marvel has spent money already invested money into an undisclosed animated project, and I'm hoping it's Spider-Man.
Spider-Man 98.
With the success of X-Men 97,
like, please be
I would not be surprised if it was.
I'm like, please be
Let me be a
Spider-Man.
bit more forgiving. If after the release of this Netflix Daredevil thing can prove that, first of all, those actors still remain a big part of not just a couple cameos, still a crucial part of the story. They maintain the grittiness of it, and it remains contained where they're not running into the Avengers every so often. That those cameos, that bullshit that doesn't belong in Daredevil street level fucking crime fighting, I will watch it.
If it's just
those conditions have to be met, yeah.
If they bump in, well, what about like if they bump or hear about Hawkeye or Spider-Man?
The mentions don't bother me.
Street level hero.
But if they get involved and I was like, oh, now we need your help to find out who Silver Surfer is and how Galactus is going to be. No, absolutely not.
Yeah, because
I would like
when I'm fighting a Planet Eater, the first person I think of calling is Daredevil.
Yeah, get yourself a lawyer with a walking stick. Get the fuck out of here. Come on.
So and then final thing. So it is going to have 18 episodes.
18
Daredevil
for one season,
divided into like two halves.
Okay, so
that's very ballsy.
They probably have a lot to say, or it's probably just a one-off. Like they're just finishing the story and then it's going to end.
Did the same writers come back? Because that will determine a lot of what I just.
I think they did. I think originally they had new writers. Kevin Feige, whoever, they hated what was going on, and so they fired him, and then they got the original writers again.
Right? Okay. Well, that's hopeful. I will still maintain. I will watch it if those conditions.
So we do know that it is a continuation because there's some plot leaks that we know of. We know that Dex is coming back. We know he's Bullseye.
Whoa!
Shut up.
Would you watch it if I was in the show?
Of course, I have to support my friends.
Where's your NDA now?
What the fuck?
The Wolverine.
you know how Deadpool's always like, "What's in the box?" I'd be like, "Why is he in this? Why is he in this?" I would constantly ask that question anywhere until I got my answer, and I wouldn't even ask you. I just ask everyone, "Why is he in this?"
If that ever happens, I'm not saying that is or not happen.
Sure.
I need you to yell, "That's my friend."
Oh, easily. I wouldn't care if people like shut the fuck up. Okay, that's my fucking friend.
He comes up to
him. Watch.
He comes to the devil's like, "I'm forming a team."
We need help fighting Dr. Doom. Yeah, I would support it. Absolutely, I would have to.
Okay.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Don't get my hopes up.
I'll let you fan cast me later on. You let me know what you want to say.
Okay.
And I think the final thing, I mean,
well, first off, with D23, they finished today's event stuff, so there's stuff for tomorrow, but they haven't announced anything for X-Men today. So fingers crossed we get something tomorrow, and maybe what you were saying, an undisclosed Marvel thing, aka
It's
maybe
Spider-Man, I think
possibly
I think I
Spider-Man
might
98.
cry.
Dude, if that the
Why
thing is,
couldn't?
the
There's
thing
no
is-
way they have to.
No, but
Well,
the thing
the
is, they shouldn't be in the sense of like they have been trying to like promote their other Spider-Man animated thing, and if they were to, like I said before, if they announced Spider-Man 98, that would just overshadow that.
That's
would
just the
not-
name we're thinking it is.
Yeah.
But like
Care
that would
about the
overshadow
name.
it.
As long as it's a continuation, I do not.
But
give a
that would
rat's
overshadow it, and like nobody would
Overshadow
watch the Spider-Man.
Oh,
what's-
the freshman year or whatever.
yeah,
Oh,
But that's a separate universe, separate
but
thing.
still, that would
Separate
overshadow. Like no,
they could save it for next year because there's always if you have such a good lineup with what they gave, like Incredibles 3 is going to carry.
Yeah.
That alone will carry. A lot of people are very excited about the new Captain America. I love that actor, Anthony Mackie or whatever, but I'm just not going to watch it. What were the other big ones again?
Unless I'm in it, of course.
Correct.
I have to go see it after.
What are the other ones?
Other like Marvel.
the big announcements. Daredevil is not going to carry, but it's pretty big. Yeah, like Toy Story carries.
I'm upset that I feel like 4. I didn't like 4.
neither did I.
I hated the ending of 4. I should say.
I enjoyed the movie. I just hate what they're doing to the franchise. But anyways, yeah,
I didn't care for 4. Like it was just kind of like
I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny.
how I explained it was like it's just DLC. It's there. It's not needed. But if you like it, you like it. If you don't,
Provides
you
no
don't.
value other than entertainment. Yes.
They showed a new trailer for Fantastic Four.
Oh, and
I'm pretty
Percy
sure that's going to
Jackson.
carry Percy Jackson.
Okay.
There's a so I guess
Today alone shows enough success financially for Disney that they don't need the Spider-Man. So they could probably even just hold on to it for a year
and
until the next one, or just within a few months to not overshadow whatever they got.
Well,
going on.
when is freshman
Homecoming?
year coming out?
I don't know. I didn't even know that was a thing.
I don't know. I don't think they've even announced anything for it.
announce further details on it.
I would like for them to just say it got canceled, and we're like, they just be like, we have new Spider-Man freshman year is canceled, but and
about it.
then it's like 98, and then everyone just dude, that I could see it breaking Twitter like Minecraft Steve broke Twitter in Smash Bros when he was announced.
There's only 2 other animated shows on the level of X-Men, and we know that that's Spider-Man, and the other one is Batman.
Well, didn't Batman got a? It's not the same, but it's
It's got a new series. It's doing really well. People are
it's
liking
on-
it.
What isn't it Prime? Is it the?
It's it would be on
It's
Max,
called the Cape
isn't it?
Crusader, right?
It'd be on
Batman,
Max.
Cape
Max
Crusader.
opens the rights for
Yeah,
it.
and apparently people are really taking it well.
Oh, well, Batman Beyond is up there too.
If they were to announce a Batman, not obviously not here, but if they were to announce a new Batman Beyond, ooh,
I think it's like a half step under Batman, but it's
up there.
It's up there.
It's up there. Yes, Batman the animated series is still top tier.
They did
but
say that I think they even talked about when I think they talked to the original writer about that Batman the animated series when they mentioned the Cape Crusader, and he just said he felt like he was done. He's like,
I do
feel
want
like
Terry
wanna come
McGinnis
back.
to be Asian, though. Let that speak for itself. I don't want to see a race swap on that. I want him to be Asian.
I mean, he has to be.
Terry McGinnis is Asian.
Would you accept if?
Yeah. So Sherelle didn't know that. I was like, yeah, he is Asian.
Vaporeon was Batman.
He looks Asian enough. I'd accept it. I would support my friend.
Terry McGinnis is Asian. I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Did you?
Well, see, I had a big argument with Sherelle and a couple other friends. Were like, he's not. I was like, go watch it. He's Asian, and it showed. Well, he's like a half Asian.
Is it from his mom's side?
Uh huh.
Oh, okay.
His mom is the Asian. But you can tell he's Asian.
it
And I
matter
wish if they, what?
Does it matter?
I mean, yeah,
if
does
his
it
dad's
matter? It's
Asian,
like-
no,
Is
that
that
we
Asian?
can't.
Well, no. The reason why is because spoiler alert: if you didn't watch Batman Beyond, the doctor who gave his dad the boot, like a shot, like overrode his genes, and so
spoil it.
Oh, go spoil it. This show's
been out forever.
He's half Bruce, so he can't be. His dad can't be Bruce unless Bruce is Asian, and we never know about it.
Bruce Wayne Asian? Oh my
After getting
god!
hit so many times
It's
in
not.
the face,
It's not.
you know,
It's not Bruce. It's not Bruce Wayne. It's Bruce
his eyes were
Wayne.
getting swollen shut.
It's Bruce Wayne.
You don't even know how to pronounce. You know what? I'm not going to go into
Bruce
that.
Wuhan.
Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wu-Tang.
Bruce Wu-Tang. I like that better.
But no,
Wu-Tang's for the kids.
Yeah.
okay, that'd be cool. If they do it animated though,
But-
I would like Will Friedle to come back.
I just
as
wish it
Terry
could be.
McGinnis.
I wish it was like maybe 25 years ago or 20 years ago, and then Johnny Young Bosch would portray Terry McGinnis.
Hell yeah!
The
After
black-
Power
the
Rangers,
second
he's
Black
like,
Power. So
he's
good.
Batman Beyond.
Yeah,
That'd be so
he's
cool.
the perfect look. Like that's what Terry McGinnis should look. And I know there's plenty of guys that look like that now, but
K-pop, yeah.
yeah.
Not Japoria.
No, stop it!
He doesn't have the bag
You're
for it.
stroking his ego too hard now.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely right.
He's
Yeah,
already
here's
got-
the
he
test
already-
shot. Do a backflip.
He already got backed by by what's his name, Bane. So he can't. His back's broken now.
Yeah.
Bonnet. I hate you just as much as I hate my tear.
Oh my god.
I defended you, Paul. I get to say that about you.
Yeah, good job. Because he would throw you under the bus in a heartbeat.
He hasn't thrown me under the bus yet.
He will.
You will.
You know what?
I have faith in you, Japorion. You're not going to throw me under the bus.
So did Mr. Mister.
I'm a different guy. Okay.
And he defended him to like tooth and nail. And he's
what?
like, yeah, I don't in anything.
What did he throw you in under the bus for, though?
I don't remember. Just a bunch of stuff.
but
All
he
the time
has.
I would say something, he'd be like, "Oh, well, screw you, Diego. You're the one who did this." I'm like, "Okay, fine. I'm not going to help you anymore. Fuck you."
Okay. We'll wait to see that day. I don't think that day will come, but
I hope it doesn't happen.
only he can prove me wrong.
Yeah, that's true. What was the final thing? Oh, they showed. I don't care about this. The Agatha all along. They showed some more stuff about it, but I don't
can't
care.
believe that became a thing because people liked her in
It's not going to do
WandaVision?
well.
WandaVision. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't. Have you seen like the leaked stuff? Supposedly that the show was originally going to be that one of the variants of Kang was going to be the creator of the Darkhold, but it seems that they're going away from Kang because
That's a woman's universe, and we know what he does.
If she comes out with some black eyes, we already know what's going out.
And he said black eyes, not black guys. Okay?
Exactly.
I don't know if this is
Ojos
getting all
negro,
kinds of
ojos
weird and
negro.
bad.
Ojos negro.
oh, so you can't be talking like this if you're going to want me to be in a movie.
You can't
can erase
get.
You can go ahead and erase all of this.
Oh my gosh! All right, well that's all we have for today. I mean, tomorrow we'll probably get more news, and that might be old. But I'm trying to get this out tomorrow, so before they
Oh,
there it goes early.
that's my friend.
Nice.
We'll get it out early,
job.
and we'll see what people say about the next part, and then we'll talk about that next time a week later. But it's
You
okay.
can do an audio only for the next part of D23 or whatever, a short.
That's also true. Or you just do it over Discord, and
That's
I
what
can
I mean,
record
like
it
an
that way.
audio
Yeah,
one, just 20, 30 more, however long it needs to be. But
and I can. Yeah, and
23
way you don't
part
have-
2, Electric Boogaloo.
that way you don't have
Yeah.
to edit anything. Yeah.
that's true. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for watching. It's always fun to do these on a weekly basis. Remember, you can watch this first on YouTube, and then you can hear it 2 weeks later on Podomac. I have been a little bit rusty in putting them out, but I think the ones that
put
I
out a
should have
whole
been
bunch this
out,
week.
I put out a bunch this week. So I'm catching up. My bad. But if you want to listen to them, right, you can listen to all of your Google platforms, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podomatic, whatever it may be. Listen to it there. Follow us on our social media accounts. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, @Podcast, capital C, capital N, capital P. I didn't miss it this time. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. This is David the Smash Fan,
Mr.
Boricua Senpai.
And Shark King.
and this is Chibi No Podcast.